I didn't do a lot of fun stuff in my life. It always felt like anything that made me happy was denied or stolen. When I finally did get time to myself, it was very short-lived. At least I could tell my problems to my stuffed animals. They'd not only understand, but they'd listen without interruption. I had a bunny, a fox, a chicken, and my favorite, a teddy bear. I loved them very much for always being in my life and sometimes wished they were real and would take care of me like I was their actual little girl. So I was actually an adult. I didn't really care. Little did I know that my life would be changed forever, in more ways than one. So here's how it happened. It was my birthday and I went to a kid's pizzeria. They called it Freddy Fazbear's. Their mascots were exactly the same as my stuffed animals. After all, I won them from here as prizes. I had my favorite pizza while watching the characters sing and dance. They seemed to be happy to see me, and whenever I visited, they seemed to already know me. The things I like and don't like were either pre-programmed or maybe I told them and just don't remember. After I finished eating, I went to play games until closing time. I overheard the manager yelling from the office just before attempting to leave. "What do you mean you can't show up? Well, if your wife's sick then I can't really say much against it. Just don't get sick yourself." Click. Great. Where the heck am I gonna find a replacement for the night shift? "If you need someone quick, I can volunteer, sir," I said while peering in. "I know I don't look like much, but you are short-handed and I'll do the job for free." Needless to say, he accepted my offer without hesitation. I was escorted to the security office and shown how to work the camera tablet. I was told to make sure the characters don't get in the office and that they do wander at night. I thought they told me everything I needed, so when the phone rang, I ignored it. At first it seemed easy. I would keep watch of the characters, and close the doors if they showed up. I didn't like keeping them out that way though. "Sorry, Mr. Bunny, but I'm not supposed to let you in this room. Come out and play with us, Novi. Won't you like that?" he'd say in response. They always called me by that babyish name. At about 4 a.m., I was looking for the animatronics on the cameras when suddenly the power went out. Now I'm terrified of the dark and started to panic a bit. Suddenly I heard a music box from the left door. Freddy's eyes were flickering to the music. It did help me calm down a bit now that I could see. Then he walked through the door and knelt down in front of me. "Looks like you lost. Now come to daddy," I heard first. Then a soft crinkling sound and the smell of fresh powder. Then the room darkened again and I began to cry. Once again, I do not like the dark. Shortly afterwards I felt a fuzzy paw holding my head gently before popping something squishy and rubbery into my mouth and fastening it behind my head. "Hush now, Novi. Little girl shouldn't cry." Next I could feel myself be lifted from the chair like a small child and placed onto his shoulder. "Don't be scared. I'll take good care of you." I thought that maybe they were just doing their thing that they do when children get scared. Then I felt a soft swat against my tush. Even though I was fully clothed, it was thin enough that I could feel what that swat was. The crinkling also gave it away. He had a diaper in his hand, and the thing he put in my mouth was a pacifier gag. At this point I really freaked out because I didn't know how to get out of this or even if I could. I was told that big girls don't wear diapers. I tried to break free from his grip, but he held me tighter. Now sweetie, if you struggle you'll just hurt yourself. Hold still will you?" But I didn't want to hold still. I wanted to get the hell out. "Okay, I wanted to do this the easy way, but I'm gonna have to play hardball with you. Marionette. I need a rope job here." "Rope job? What does that mean?" I didn't have much time to think before my hands were suddenly grabbed, yanked behind my head, and then tied together. I could no longer fight back without my wrists hurting, and Freddy continued to carry me until I was set down on a hard metal table. "Now stop wiggling, Novi. There's nothing to be afraid of, dear." I could feel my jeans being unzipped and slipped off slowly. I nearly forgot about the pacifier gag because I tried to scream nothing to be afraid of. "You tied me up and are now trying to take off my pants." With that, as I could hear that diaper being unfolded and slid under my rear, a large black puppet thing appeared. I distinctly remembered the marionette being in several photographs of kids being given birthday presents. They lowered to my eye level and whispered softly while drying the tears from my eyes, "Stay calm, little one. We have no intention of hurting you. The restraints are only temporary. Just let us finish." They started playing soft music in my ears while I could feel myself being covered in baby oil and powder. It was kinda relaxing. I guess I got too relaxed though because I felt the diaper being lifted up between my legs and then suddenly get very warm and wet. Mary. You made her wet the diaper before I finished. Oh well, her first changing will just have to be a little early. I could hear myself whimpering and I know I started crying again. It had been ages since I last peed myself in any way, shape, or form, and I was already being diapered against my will. Now that I completely soaked that one, they had to change me. The puppet, Mary and they called it, dried my tears again and hugged my head while Freddy removed the now used diaper and wiped me. The cold chill from it nearly made me do it again, but I had just emptied my bladder. We've been waiting to take care of you for a very long time. Our precious little girl will never have to worry about anything again. I felt my legs be lowered onto another diaper and once again was powdered. This time Freddy managed to close the tapes without me having another accident. My hands were then unbound and I was lifted from the table. There you go, a nice clean diaper. Now it's time for a nap. The big bear cradled me in his arms and rocked me a while to make sure I didn't start crying again. Then I was too tired to stay upset and closed my eyes for a bit. Freddy set me down in his lap and laid my head on his chest while rubbing my back. Good night Novi, Daddy's little baby.